in order to survive, it's a coping mechanism, and to keep Rex's memory alive. I met 2 other mums who'd gone through the same thing, and I sort of inspired them to help me set up a UK arm to the SUDC Foundation. Because although the SUDC Foundation in America is everything that we needed, it's really hard to fundraise for an American charity. People just don't really get under the skin of it because they think, oh, their money's going to go to America. And so by starting the foundation, we can really spread awareness, educate people in the UK, so that we can try and get those UK families who've experienced the same as us to come together and support each other. Because the worst thing about it is, it is really unusual. I think there are 26 in the UK and Wales, children to die a year. But we only know 40 families, so there's so many other families out there that have lost a child and that are sort of with no support from us. It's really rare, but actually, so 1 to 4-year-olds, 26 die a year. That is 6% of the total deaths in that age group. So there are 400 in total, 6%, and then it's the 7th most likely cause of death in that category. So suddenly it becomes quite a lot, and it's more than household fires, drowning, traffic accidents. So actually, you think about all the precautions you put in place for those things, and nobody knows anything about SUDC. It's sort of time that some proper research was done on top of what's being done at the moment at Great Ormond Street. Well, to us it doesn't feel very rare because I keep meeting other families and seeing pictures of their children who look, the picture of health. From one article I did in the press, another mum from Southampton got in contact. She lost her little girl who was 3, and she's already just done a fundraiser and raised a lot of money. And you just think that's just one family who've heard about us and are already on board. And so if we can connect with all the families in the UK, I think we'll be much stronger together than just on our own. It would be nice to fund some genetic research into possible causes, which is happening in the US. So we'd like to be able to sponsor families in the UK to go over to have their blood samples sent over to the US, and then there's a panel of medical examiners that will look at your case again, so the post-mortem basically, and then also test the blood samples from your partner and yourself and the deceased child. And that's another reason why understanding what you're being told by the coroner is so important, because you need to have a good blood sample or a good tissue sample so that they can extract DNA, a good piece of DNA, so that they can then do the genetic testing. And that's the upsetting bit. When we sent our samples over to the US, we had only slides of Rex, of particular organs. We didn't have a blood sample. No one asked me, did I want to have some blood taken? And I would have loved to, because it means that you can cold storage it, and it can last for years and years and years, and we have that opportunity when new genetic research is made available. We can constantly start testing, but that won't be possible now. And I think parents should be given that option in a language they understand. Is do you want your child's blood kept and tissues from their organs kept and cold? I don't know if it's cold stored or whatever, but yeah. So that genetics research can be done. I mean, we've had the research done and nothing was found at all. But the more and more children that we sponsor to have the genetic analysis, the more and more markers will be found, and new SUDC markers will be found. So then at the moment there are a number of markers that they're looking for. We didn't have any of those markers, but they have a record of all his exome DNA, the exome sequencing for Rex. So the more and more testing they do, more and more samples of children, the more likely they're going to see similarities and hopefully find some triggers.